Come into this place by Rebecca A. Edmiston Lang. Come into this place which we make holy by our presence. Come in with all your vulnerabilities and strengths, fears and anxieties, loves and hopes. For here you need not hide, nor pretend, nor be anything other than who you are and are called to be. Come into this place where we can touch and be touched, heal and be healed, forgive and be forgiven. Come into this place where the ordinary is sanctified, the human is celebrated, the compassionate is expected. Come into this place. Together, we make it a holy place.
So as we come into this place together, as you're comfortable, I invite you to greet each other. Find someone near you and say your name, and name a comfort food, something that is a comfort food for you. For those of you who are online, we invite you to put your comfort food into the chat. So go ahead.
Hi. I'm going to share with you a few of the comfort foods from our fellow friends on Zoom. A little higher. Yeah. Chocolate. Tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. Popcorn. Goulash. Macaroni and cheese. And Cheetos.
With this basket of black oak acorns, we express our heartfelt desire that the Nisenan people may recover more and more of their rich cultural heritage. We commit to support them in these and other efforts in whatever ways we can, under their guidance and at their request.
Good morning again and welcome. Thank you for sharing in that little interaction this morning. It sounded so nice to hear everyone's voices and laughter. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community of the Mountains. My name is Gracie, and I'm so grateful to be your worship leader today. I'm delighted that you're here, both in person and online, on this brand new morning and this brand new day. We gather together here in peace. Thank you for joining us, we who are willing to share parts of ourselves with each other. We who bring a teaching of hope. We who bring a saving message, who welcome in our doors the joyful, the heartbroken, atheist and Christians, Muslims and Jews, straight and gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, all who are searching, seeking, looking for more meaning, more service, more love. All of us gathered here together to walk each other home And as we grow justice, equity, and compassion, we create a holy path for the journey.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are the words and the wisdom of Rebecca E. Edmiston Lang. There's a response for everyone, and it is, we are the light of the world. We are the light of the world. Some people say that Jesus is the light of the world. We can all be the light of the world if we seek to act in ways that enlarge the realms of love and justice.
When we share another's pain or offer a comforting ear to a friend in need,
we are the light of the world. When we give bread to the hungry or support ways to house the homeless,
we are the light of the world. When we fight temptations to wrongdoing within ourselves and treat our neighbors with respect,
we are the light of the world. When we try to overcome differences with understanding and solve conflict with peaceful means,
we are the light of the world. When we look for the good in ourselves and in others,
we are the light of the world. When we do not stay quiet in the face of prejudice, but speak our minds firmly and gently, we are the light of the world.
When we fight despair within ourselves and side with hope,
we are the light of the world. When we use our powers justly and in the service of love for humanity, we are the light of the world.
we are the light of the world.
We are the light of the world. Amen and amen.
When we are being the light of the world, it brings us joy. Feeling into our joy is a powerful way to connect with that light. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? The memories that we hold in our bodies can help us understand what really lights us up. So I invite us all now to remember a time that you felt happy, that you felt a lot of joy. And I invite you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes for a moment and let's go inside our bodies. So just moving into your body, feeling into a time that you feel light in your body, your heart is open, and your mind is calm and clear. Feeling into this time when you are light in your body, your heart is open, and your mind is calm and clear. What are you doing? Where are you? What are the sounds that are present? What are the smells that are present? You are light in your body. Your heart is open. Your mind is calm and clear. Where are you? What are you doing? When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And if you're willing, I invite you to find a different person that you shared with before. And talk to them about what it is that brings you joy. What is that activity? Where are you? What are you doing? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? So we'll start now just finding a person somewhere nearby, if you're willing, and sharing what it is that brings you joy.
Hi, I'm going to once again share some of the comments in the chat from our friends at home. Puttering at home with no schedule. Dancing, dancing, dancing. A magical moment when I was flying a hang glider or over an orange grove in Southern California. Creating art. Oh, and eating.
It's very nice to have an opportunity to share with each other and to feel how the energy changes in the room. And it's also good to practice coming back to ourselves and checking in after we've had an experience like that. So we'll start with the centering breath and then just a little reflection about how that was for you. So just take a moment to get comfortable on your seat, and if it feels good, to place your feet on the floor in a position that feels grounded. And we're going to do a centering breath called box breathing. So we're going to breathe like a box. We're going to take an inhale for a count of 5. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 5. We'll exhale for a count of 5, and then hold the breath out for 5. And we'll do that 3 times. So as you're ready, inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hold your breath, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And continue that breath out or hold the breath out. Inhale. Hold your breath. Breathing out. And hold the breath out. Last time. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now just let your breath return to normal. And take a moment to just check in. How did it feel to share with someone else? How did it feel if you didn't share? If you decided to keep that to yourself? How was it to hear what brings joy from someone else? Was it easier? Was it harder? And how do you feel in your body now? Just noticing. There's no right or wrong. Just noticing what's present. And when you're ready, you can just let your eyes roll open if they're closed. And just let the world come to you.
Each Sunday we sing our youngest members onto Kids Connection, those who want to go, with this little light of mine. We've already been in a place of remembering joy, feeling joy. I invite you to draw on that a reflective invitation into which Gracie just led us to notice the fullness of what's in you this morning, the fullness of the concerns, the cares, what's in your heart, what's on your mind. Who are you thinking about this morning as you arrive? Who's on your list of people to tune into, connect with, check in with, pray for? To notice. I invite you into this weekly embodied ritual, whether you're in the room and choose to come take a stone from the table here at front and place it in the bowl of water with all that you hold in mind and heart in that thought and in that intention, or whether you're online and you're choosing to type into the chat, or maybe read the chat as other people are typing. This is one of the simple ways we connect with one another in community, knowing that some things we'll know and some things we won't know, but that we can hold each other tenderly nonetheless. I invite you into the quietness of your heart, your care for each other and the world, in the room to come forward if you wish, and online to type into the chat some of what you carry. We'll hold silence for a moment for our own prayerfulness, our own thoughtfulness, and lead into singing Comfort Me. And when we do, as we sing Comfort Me, I invite you to draw in as much of that message of comfort for yourself as is needed. and also as you're able to sing on behalf of others and in the interest of the well-being of others for that same kind of comfort. First, a moment in our shared silence, thoughtfulness, intention, and prayerfulness for all that we're holding this morning.
In reflecting on what to say about the second principle, I noticed that several principles seem to embrace similar concepts. 2, justice, equity, and compassion. Number 5, democratic process. Number 6, peace, liberty, and justice. And thought, well, isn't that a bit redundant? Or maybe we can't say these words enough. Looking deeper, I realized the principles are about expanding outward, and that in each principle, they have a little different meaning. The first principle is the inherent worth and dignity of every person. I must start with believing in my own inherent worth and dignity to be able to reach out and really live the second principle of justice, equity, and compassion in my relations with others. Compassion seems to be the easiest to come by because, frankly, when I come from a place of compassion, it creates a calmness in me. Still a work in progress to remember that in many different situations. I am really good with children, not so much sometimes with adults. As some of you know, I work with children that do not fit into our normal public school education system. Some have physical limitations, others have Down syndrome or autism, while others have experienced such trauma in their young lives that they already suffer extreme emotional disturbance. In 1970, only 1 in 5 children with disabilities were educated. Many states actually had laws excluding certain children, deaf, blind, emotionally disturbed, intellectually disabled, the very children I work with today. It wasn't until 1975 when Congress passed what is known today as the Individual with Disabilities Education Act idea that these children were given the justice that allowed them the right to attend public schools. Here we see it again, federal laws versus states' rights. I applaud Congress for taking an idea to fruition. Since then, the United States has progressed from excluding 1.8 million children to providing 7.5 million children with special education as of 2018-2019. I believe a lot of the work to get that bill passed and grow to where we are today came from growing compassion in others. An author I like, Vanessa Deffenbach, has 2 novels, one called We Never Asked for Wings, which touches on the subject of undocumented immigrants. The other, Language of Flowers, is about aging out of the foster system. When asked in an interview why she wrote about such tough subjects, she said, "I write about people because only when you care about the people will you care about the subject." I feel we can't maintain and grow compassion while helping others to do so. Then justice will be hard to win, chipped away, or flat out broken, as we are seeing before our eyes. I do not have time to get into the equity piece, other than to say that in my work with children, there was enough compassion for justice to prevail, but we have a ways to go to be equitable, and that is very much an up and down struggle. My own views are evolving about what is equitable in special education. I have learned so much from these children, about them and about myself. I keep hearing the words progressive freedom that Reverend Kevin introduced to us a few weeks ago. For me, progressive freedom has not been a straight line, and that's okay, because then I would miss learning so much. Knowing others, compassion for others, see others for all that they are. Compassion, justice, equity. Thank you.
I stole this song. I stole this song from a man without shoes on a curb in New York City, and the snow was coming soon. His fingers strummed a guitar through the holes in his gloves, and he sang this melody full of sadness and love. La 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 la. And I stole this riff from a man caught in a maze. He drove from bar to bar, mad pursuit of what he craved. Sometimes I'd tag along. His life was my favorite song, but the melody was sad. It didn't last long. La 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 la. And I stole this guitar from a man without a home. His road was heading north, and he needed a winter coat. So I offered him a trade. I didn't need one after all, but I often wonder where that coat is hanging now. La 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 la. Like a moth in the flame, or a sapling in the snow, he'll wander this highway till there's no place left to go. But he yearns for the sun, with the sap in his veins, and he wants you to know that his life is not a shame. La 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 la.
Compassion. When I was maybe 10 years old, I was playing a soccer game, and the ball hit me in the head just right to cause my glasses to break and make a deep gash in my eyebrow. I still have the scar. I was rushed to the emergency room where they stitched me up. It was no doubt a routine procedure, but I was terrified and screamed throughout the whole ordeal. And when it was over and they were ushering me out of the hospital, somebody in the waiting room said to me, "You're a very brave boy." That was my first explicit experience of compassion. I knew I was not a very brave boy, but it made me feel good to hear it. Compassion does more than make people feel good, of course. Essentially, compassion is the expression of the truth. What happens to you also happens to me, or more commonly, we're all in this together. For better or worse, a commitment to compassion has led me to where I am today. That and some relationship stuff. For instance, I went to Guatemala to do volunteer work and to get away from an ex-girlfriend in Santa Cruz. I went from Guatemala to Wisconsin because my grandmother was dying and I wanted to minister to her at the end. Also because I broke up with a girl I met in Guatemala. I came back to California to work with gang kids in Watsonville. Hey, no girlfriend that time, but I did meet a girl the first week of that new job by the name of Wendy Bonsoff. And her last name is now changed to Wernig, of course. So I guess with me, there's always a girl at the front or the back end. Anyway, when I've lacked direction in my life, as I often do, the needle of compassion has served me well. And I recommend it. It is the only way to live.
I I invite us into a deeper question and share now. Before I ask this question, take a moment to just feel your feet on the floor, to notice the seat underneath you. You don't even have to move, just becoming aware. And if you move, that's fine too. Notice the clothes as they touch your skin, the air as it touches your face. Just connecting with yourself, your truth, and your love in this moment. Here's the question. What makes you feel loved, appreciated, seen? What makes you feel loved, appreciated, seen? When you're ready, you can open your eyes if they're closed. And if you're willing, find someone to share with. What is it that makes you feel loved, appreciated, and seen? And hear what makes them feel loved, appreciated, and seen. So I invite you now to turn to each other, to find someone. It can be the same person or someone new, and share that with them. Also in the chat, please put in what it is for you that helps you feel loved, appreciated, and seen.
When a person genuinely listens to me, sitting and visiting with my beloved husband, Peter, dancing, 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 listening from people who love me, singing harmony with another person, sharing connections, words of appreciation, hugs, and yes, dancing. When someone, especially someone I care about, tells me I'm appreciated, instead of assuming that I already know. Having someone who I disagree with almost entirely still want to spend time with me, still keeping open hearts.
If you're here for the first time or haven't been here this summer, it may help you to know that all summer long we've been walking our way through the set of Unitarian Universalist principles. They're in order all the way on the right there on the wall. These are the principles that we Unitarian Universalist congregations say that we are going to affirm and promote in our lives and in the world. This is the order in which we've been approaching them, which is only because of who was drawn to what principle and when they were available this summer. So there's no rhyme or reason other than that, but we're up to the 7. And on the wall there's an 8th. If you haven't been here, there's a proposed 8th principle that will be voted on by the association next June. So in that context, this is the 2nd principle. And it opens up from the very first principle, which is all about, as Rain pointed out, honoring that individual, the inherent worth and dignity of the individual. And it starts to open up from the individual to connection, to relationship. Recognizing that we're all not just individuals, but we're all and always also in relationship with others. As Gracie and Rain talked through the possibilities for this service, the importance of compassion came up again and again and again as the foundation for all of them, as the foundation for all the kinds of relationships that we seek at all levels. Rain named this. The capacity and the willingness to feel with others is the root of just relationships and therefore of justice. It is the root of equity and therefore of equity in our lives. And so this service has focused on compassion and connection, not only as the first move beyond personal integrity and wholeness, beyond that first principle, but also into that first principle, that move toward our own integrity and wholeness through our compassion. It's a prerequisite for all the principles that follow it, for accepting one another, for living a responsible search for truth and meaning, for making decisions collectively, for the goal of community beyond our walls and our borders, for understanding ourselves as thoroughly interdependent, and for taking apart the isms that interfere with all of these things for entire groups of people at a time. May our pursuit of justice, equity, our pursuit of the principles that guide us in the world begin here, very close in, with compassion starting right here among us. So may it be.
So as we explore and grow justice, equity, and compassion, I can imagine no better community partner than Color Me Human. 25% of our offering this month will support Color Me Human, which celebrates and supports the under-resourced communities in California's second whitest county. Founded by the UUCM member Tracy Pepper, Color Me Human's mission is to celebrate, elevate, educate, advocate, to create a safe, equitable world for Black, Indigenous, people of culture, and LGBTQ+ folks. We'll be passing around the basket. If you want 100% of your donation to go to Color Me Human, then you can place it in the envelope in the basket. Otherwise, 25% of all the donations will be going to Color Me Human. And now we'll listen to Allison tell us the ways that we can give.
Your generosity remains essential to our ability to sustain the work of our community. There are several ways to contribute. You may text an amount to 833-579-0483, give via our website at uugrassvalley.org, via PayPal at paypal.me/UUCM, or mail to UUCM 246 South Church Street, Grass Valley, California, 95945. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your generosity. We dedicate this offering to justice, equity, and compassion in all human relations. Still here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, and especially for sharing and for your willingness to share with each other. We also want to thank Rain this morning for being the worship associate. Our readers today, Corey, Penny, and Tom, thank you so much. And to Toby and Tom, thank you for the beautiful music this morning. Thank you, Siobhan and Gary, for doing our AV, and Eileen for being our chat host. We want to also thank George, Dunstan, and Corey for being on production, as well as Shanti for the beautiful setting that we have this morning. Our greeters, Jean and Corey, thank you so much. And refreshments, which we will get to have shortly, provided by Shanti, Ruth Edwards, Cheryl Morris, and Susan Merrill. Thank you so much. And for Lindsay Dunkel and Corey, who are in the Kids Connection today, thank you so much for doing that.
I just want to thank Gracie. I want to thank Gracie for worship leading. Yeah. Toby's right on it for us. And to Tom, who was not feeling well, and so and AV folks for adjusting to the changing needs today. So Tom joined us live for his sharing and recorded the song ahead of time. So thanks for that, all of that. So I invite us to sing a song from the experience of being enslaved, right? Come and go with me to that land. So for all the ways that you might be seeking freedom and that we desire freedom for other people, that we desire justice and equity and compassion, I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to sing.
Hi, our closing words are written by Frederick E. Gillis. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us, now and always. And as we distinguish our chalices and go out to greet others in the world, may we carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.